Why? Kate and William follow strict royal custom by sitting exactly 45 centimeters apart at state banquet. Kate Middleton and Princess William joined the rest of the royal family for a super fancy banquet in honor of South African President Cyril Ramaphosa. The first state dinner hosted by the royals since several years and the first of King Charles's reign. So yes, it was a huge deal and the royals pulled out all the stops. King Charles hosted his first state banquet as he welcomed South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa on Tuesday, the first world leader on a state visit to Britain since Donald Trump in 2019. The lavish event took place in the Ballroom of Buckingham Palace, where a traditional horseshoe-shaped table is laid out with silver cutlery handed down from King George IV. Preparations for such an important royal event begin over a year in advance, and the work for the South African visit began during the reign of Queen Elizabeth. But it was reported that King Charles was delighted to continue with his mother's plans. Place settings at state banquet are exactly 45 centimeters apart, and precise measurements are very important for the occasion so that every table piece is correctly aligned. Around 170 guests attend the event, which required 1,700 pieces of cutlery to be laid out using rulers to get the measurements correct. Each person is given 6 glasses of water, red and white wine, dessert wine, champagne, and port. All guests also have placed in front of them 2 knives and forks plus dessert cutlery and a knife and plate for butter. Every part of the complicated planning is inspected by the reigning monarch, who has to approve of the table setting before going to get dressed. There are a number of strict rules at any state banquet that must be observed by the organizers of the event, whether it is how each guest will have 7 glasses to drink, or exact distance that separate each place setting. The strict customs have been practiced for decades. It is expected that guests are treated to the best of the British food at a state banquet, and the South African President Cyril Ramaphosa was treated to stuffed Windsor pheasant and grilled brill with wild mushroom. It is different from what they usually served during Queen Elizabeth's banquets, as the late monarch often favored a venison or lamb from Balmoral, her holiday home in Scotland. Food for such an event is prepared as closely to the event as possible, and every dish is handmade from scratch. Wines offered include a Chateau Petit Clinit Pomerello 2000 from France, which tastes of, quote, melted licorice, cherries, and earth. The royal chefs also surprised with a tasty dessert of South Africa's national flower, the bright red orange protea, made entirely out of sugar and edible coloring. Kate Middleton and Prince William arrived for the occasion dressed in their best, as Kate wore her favorite tiara, the Cambridge Lover's Knot, which was a wedding gift to Princess Diana, and also diamond earrings, for which also belonged to the late Princess of Wales. It was the first time the royal pair were part of such an important diplomatic event, and they initially traveled to central London to the hotel where President Cyril Ramaphosa was staying to accompany him to the Horse Guards Palace to start the welcoming ceremony.